Hi, Falcons. It is winter, and one of my favorite things to do in winter is build a snowman. But one of my favorite desserts is ice cream. So I thought I would bring those two wonderful things together. And today we are going to be creating these fun ice cream snowmen. You are going to need the following. You are going to need a white sheet of paper. It was available for pickup at Forestall. If you weren't able to come and get it, just use a white piece of paper you have around the house. You'll want to have a pencil and a black marker and your watercolor paint, a protective surface for you to work on, scissors and glue, and a colored piece of paper that was available for pickup. Also, any color works. I just chose blue because I just chose blue. If you want to choose a different color, that is fine. So gather your materials and let's get started. Let's get started, and here we go. We are going to start with that cone of our ice cream. So we're going to make kind of an upside down triangle, just like that. We really want to use that whole piece of paper. We're going to take that upside down triangle, and then we're just going to go like this, make a rounded, wavy swoop. From there, we're going to go right here to that top of that triangle, and we're going to make some more of those wavy little swoops going up and down. It looks like, we're going to attach it to the other corner, it looks like our ice cream is almost melting over our cone. We are then going to take our pencil and create a crosshatch. Remember our lines, we have crosshatch, they criss and they cross, so we're going to have a crosshatch happening. This, I made a mistake, so I have my eraser. This is going to have that waffle effect we like to have, so that it really mimics the way an ice cream cone looks. Instead of scoops of ice cream, though, we are going to start adding our scoops of snowman. So we're going to just come out and make that first scoop. We don't want to connect it, though, because we want to have the illusion that it's continuing. So we're just going to start that second scoop by coming in a little bit and coming up like this. Coming up like this. And we're going to stop right there. Maybe add a little line right there so it looks like it's continuing. From there, we're just going to add a bit of a rounded rectangle with some wavy lines coming out, and that will create the scarf of our snowman. If you want to, you can even add some details like some tassels on the end. Completely up to you. This is where your creativity will come into play. You add the details that you would like. You can also add a design or pattern to your scarf if you'd like to. Maybe you'd like polka dots or stripes, or you want to give it a textured look. That'll be completely up to you. You will then add that top scoop of ice cream. If you'd like to, you can put a hat on your snowman. Another thing that is creative and up to you. Our snowman needs to have arms. So what we're going to do is out the side here, we're going to start that stick. And remember, sticks are made in nature, so there's nothing absolutely perfect about them. So your stick should look jagged and broken, kind of like when you find it outside and you actually are building your snowman. Those sticks aren't perfect. We want it to look like it's coming out the side, so we can go like this to create an indentation and have that next stick coming out. And what I can do is erase those lines that were behind that I went over. That's where my craftsmanship comes into play. I'll want to add details like a carrot nose. Maybe add some depth on it. I'm going to add some button eyes and a mouth made out of coal. You can also add the details of buttons coming down. We are then going to add Sharpie marker to our project. Our project will then look something like this. It'll really, really pop. We're then going to take our glass of water and our project and our watercolors. Make sure you use a protective surface behind your project because you really, really want to protect the table that you're working on. When using watercolors, we want to make sure that we do not use that brush like a toilet brush. Our brush is meant to be used gently. And you can see my watercolors are well loved and well used, but they still work. So I'm just going to have to make sure I use a lot of water. And I am going to really wet it down. Wet, 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 wet. And when I start adding the color, do you see how I'm using the water? If I need more, I just take a little more water. That color really spreads out. And I am going to paint that entire scarf orange. That's my choice. You can paint your scarf whatever color you want to. And if you don't have watercolors available, crayons work, markers work. I just decided it would be fun for me and you, if you have watercolors available, to use them at this time. Remembering, we really want to keep that snowman white. When you have finished painting your entire snowman, you really want to let it dry. Remembering, don't dig that paint out of there and let it sit and dry. After you've painted your whole snowman, you are carefully going to cut it out, leaving a white border. Then you can glue it onto your piece of paper. Do you see how I left that thin white border around it? It just adds that extra detail of depth. I then took some white chalk and added it to give it a winter wind blown effect. This is my ice cream snowman, and it was a fun way for me to combine two of my favorite things, building a snowman and eating ice cream. Remember, we have to ask ourselves those questions. Did I follow directions? Was I using craftsmanship? Is this neat quality work? And was I creative? Maybe you added a hat, maybe a texture or detail to a pattern on the scarf. There are so many ways that you can add your flair of creativity to this project. If you've answered yes to all these questions, you know to sign your name because that is what great artists do. Then click on that microphone and share your work with me. Have a great day.